Something John and I put together when we were working in Indiana together, and I was in Indianapolis, and Dan McCarthy is my successor there. But we put on the College Roadshow. And the College Roadshow was pretty much what we're talking about right now, is we would hit Purdue, and we would hit Ball State, and even IU has a little meteorology, climatology type thing. And we would take time, and we would hit the universities. So we would either hit their local chapter meeting, if they had a chase club, whatever it was, but we were out there to meet people. And quite honestly, it's amazing what you learn when you meet people. Because as he said up there, it's about your people skills, okay? There's two things I want you to write down right now. Two things that are going to help you get that next job. Number one is attitude. Not the kind of attitude you give your parents. Attitude. And the other one is aptitude. Okay, attitude and aptitude. You got your science degree. You're moving ahead. You're smart people, because this is a hard thing to get a degree in. Especially an advanced degree. This is not easy stuff. It's your attitude. It's your work ethic. Do you have that engine that just won't quit? You know, John gave you examples. I got a great example. You know, almost every time I hire somebody, it's rarely the person who looks best on paper. I get the resume and I say, "Ooh, yeah, that looks interesting. I want to know more." And I go through the interview process, and usually it's somebody from the middle of the pack that sprints to the finish and wins. And the difference is attitude. The difference is the work ethic. The difference is the can-do attitude. The difference is that they're willing to work with others to get the job done. Because very few jobs, anywhere, do you work in a vacuum. You're almost always having to work with other people. And we don't teach this stuff in college. Right? Anybody taking schools? How to play well with others? No. Kindergarten. Absolutely. We learned that stuff early. You got to play well with others. That's the attitude. It's the work ethic. How do you get from here to there? And it's effort. It's that extra effort, that extra 10% that gets you there. It really is. And then the aptitude. The ability to learn. I'm a firm believer you go to school, you go to college to learn how to learn. Everything I know about meteorology, I learned after I graduated. It gives you the foundation. It gives you the ability to learn. But everything I know about meteorology, I learned on the job from others, from mentors. So have that ability to learn. Once you're through learning, how do you finish that? You're through. When you're through learning, you're through. You're always going to be learning. I talked about it earlier. I had no clue I was going to have this career path. Okay? I wanted to be a forecaster in a place that had thunder. And where did I get my first job? My first job was in Jackson, Kentucky. And Steve Hart had earlier mentioned I'm from Chicago. So I'm from the big city. And my first job in weather was a town of 2,500 in Appalachia. And actually my first job, Nibble, came from Alaska. And I literally got a letter. This was in the day where you didn't apply for specific jobs. You just kind of said which general area you wanted to live in. And I said, "Oh, I'll go anywhere." So I get this letter, and I'm working in a factory now. I'm working in the factory my dad worked in and my grandfather worked in. I was very well known in that factory. And half the family said, "Whew, man, he got past this weather thing. He's got a real job." All right? So I get this letter in the mail from Alaska region, and it says, "We have a position available in Yakutat, Alaska. If we were to offer you a job, would you take it?" Well, the first thing I had to do is get on a map and find out where the hell Yakutat was. It's an Arctic rainforest. It's a very, very small town. Would have been a very interesting place to go. And I checked, yeah, you bet, I'll go there. Never did hear back. But then Jackson, Kentucky came along. I didn't want to live in 2,500, town of 2,500 in Appalachia, but you know what? It was his foot in the door. And as I left Jackson, my boss comes to me and he says, "You know, I didn't want to tell you this earlier, but, you know, you were the 9th person we offered this job to. You were the first one smart enough to say yes." Okay, so sometimes you got to take those jobs nobody else wants to get your foot in the door, then figure out what you want to do and where you want to do it.